Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Rich Malley here, coming at you at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And here we are at headquarters, WNBC. So that's my radio voice. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We're here for a fired up episode. I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded. We haven't been on all week. We've been busy. We've been traveling. We've been doing things. Lots to talk about. So I hope wherever you are, you have a few minutes to join me and jump in some conversation. If you have any questions on anything that I talk about, please jump in the comments. There's a lot to get into. So first, I'd like to get into. I'm super fired up right now about what's going on for Fed Conference 22, Lisa.
All right.
Super fired up. Fired up, like powerfully fired up. All right.
Don't look at me.
So listen, you're here on this Fired Up Live. We got the hat going. We got the flames going. Fired up about Fed Conference 2022. What is the Fed Conference? Fed is Food Equipment Digital Disruptors. It is there to help promote the trades. It is there to help teach, educate, and get people excited about building their digital brand, their online for their business, for their personal, professional, however you want to look at it. And it's about networking as well. It's about bringing all channels of the industry together. And the first one went down in Miami 2020 before the pandemic hit. It was amazing. We had speakers, we had panels, we had industry participation from so many people. Our sponsors, we couldn't have done it without them. Shout out to Partstown, Hobart, McGalley, so many. I'm not going to name them all, but they made that possible. They believed in me and the cause before anyone even know what it was. And I think there's more of an understanding now on what Fed Nation is, on what the Food Equipment Digital Disruptors is. I need to take a moment to breathe. Lisa has a question.
No, it's actually, I wanted to bring up that someone had asked you, what is fired up?
Yes.
So tell the world what is fired up for anyone who is new and watching this.
All right, so if you're just stumbling upon this gorgeous face, fired up is basically me getting fired up about different topics, different industry things that are going on. We get fired up. We get on here. We talk about the issues. We talk about the good things, the bad things, the in-between things, and we're fired up about it because we're passionate about our business. We're passionate about building our brands or whatever we might be passionate about at the time. That is what we're getting fired up about. Right now, it just so happens to be Fed Conference.
Jesus says, breath, bro. Breath.
I gotta breathe. I'm just excited. I don't know. I can't even wrap my head around what we're about to do.
Back up off the mic. I'm always yelling at you.
See, I can't do anything right in this building, by the way. So, okay. So Fed Conference 22. I am flying to Arizona Sunday night. We're gonna go check out some venues. So we have a few that we're looking at, and once we could lock a venue down and we know it's gonna meet our needs. So just so you know, as we're planning here in the past week or two, we are anticipating at least 200 attendees, which is a little more than double than the first one. And sponsorships, we have all kinds of different sponsorships this time around. And, this is going to be probably a little bit different than any conference or event you've been to in the industry. It's definitely going to be a fired up type event. There's going to be music. There's going to be energy in the air. All right. So when you're coming down to this conference out to this conference in Arizona, be prepared to get excited. Be prepared to have there's going to be excitement in the air. You're going to be drawn into this high octane positive energy tunnel. And by the time you leave, you're going to be like, wow, I got some real actionable things that I need to get home and start doing, implementing into my business, implementing into my daily life. We're going to give tools. We're going to give you what you need to get going. The food equipment industry needs to know how important it is to put yourself online, be vulnerable, and build your brand right through this lens. I can't tell you how many different business deals have happened just from me going on here consistently over the last 4 years. It just recently happened not too long ago, a few weeks ago. It's mind-blowing when you sit down, you go, man, ROI, ROI. The ROI happens in the relationships. That's where the ROI lands. So whatever happens on LinkedIn, let's say LinkedIn, for example, eventually will come offline. But you got to build that relationship. You got to cultivate it. You got to care for it. Just like any relationship. The ROI is in the relationships. You can quote me on that, Lisa. ROI is in the relationships. So what else about Fed Conference 22? We have a lot of excitement and intrigue and
I would love to know
about sponsorships.
what people want out of the conference.
Yeah.
What do they want to learn out of the conference?
Yeah. So we could put that out there. If you're watching this live right now, you could throw it in the comments. Or if you feel more comfortable, you could just email or direct message us. There's a million ways, you know how. What do you want to see at the Fed conference? This is great. So we'll probably put some polls together in the group on Facebook as to what people want to see. So I will actually go to this, and I'm gonna put Janelle on the spot. Janelle with Performance Reps Northwest. So let me get over to Janelle's comment earlier because I actually asked this earlier. So I had asked on LinkedIn for the Fed conference, what content would interest you most at the food equipment industry's only conference for digital marketing and branding, which is what it's focused on. However, there is a million ways to work different things into this. So Janelle said, might be interesting to add the rep into the conversation as well. All regions vary, but as a rep, we are often the ones in charge of connecting the dots, the factory, the customer, the service tech, and getting issues resolved. I, for one, would like to know how we can better support service companies. How can we assist in the process and the communication flow between the manufacturer and the service agent, the customer? Just a thought. Excuse me, because Chris Rowling, shout out to Chris, said previously to that, he would like to gain the manufacturer perspective more specifically, what is the ideal service partner for a manufacturer? And that's a good point because we often talk about what's ideal for us as the servicer, but there's two sides to every story. So that's a great thing that Janelle and Chris brought up. And when you look at that, I look at that as a panel, Lisa. I look at that as a panel. So if we can get some of the biggest, most beautiful, best manufacturers, somebody that represents the manufacturer, somebody that represents a rep. Let's throw a dealer on the panel and a consultant and a service company. Maybe I'd love to bring one of our own senior service technicians down there to get the full perspective of what's happening in the field. These guys are the ones that really have an interesting perspective because they're seeing things through the customer's eyes, almost literally. Right there. I mean, there's no getting away from it. We're there. So putting a panel together and then this is where platforms and all this stuff gets exciting because we could take this content and we could begin to put this and cut snippets from it and build with the manufacturer and build with the reps that are talking about all this stuff on how we can make it better across the industry, start speaking the same language, which we all say we want to do. This could be how we do it through digital. Imagine having a place maybe on the new fedgroup.com and, with the memberships that we're going to have for the fedgroup.com, maybe there's an area where we're really just going to dive in to this kind of this stuff. And through digital branding, through digital connection, we could constantly have that at our fingertips to refer to go back, to learn, to show our staff, our new people coming in, what we're actually doing behind the scenes. What are the reps and the manufacturers what are we doing to be better for our customer? Because we're at the end of the day in each market, we're all pulling from the same customer. Those customers are all of our customers. So we need to do the right thing for them if they're going to keep coming back to us over and over again. So I think this is an amazing discussion and a panel that we could put together. And again, through digital, it never has to go away. We could put this on the fedgroup.com for the members and they'll be able to have this. I think it's great to do. So the FMs want to know all sides as well. Yeah, Taz. I mean, it'll change the way we do everything moving forward in the future. So we want to get to that point with the Fed conferences. That's going to be a big piece of this puzzle. We have all that's by the way, Lisa, that's like a big thing. You have the manufacturer, the rep, the dealer, all of us are in the same room. When you have conferences for SFESA and different things, it's all of us, but we're not all together. this is one of those things where we can kind of all be together. And I'd love to make sure that Safes is there with us. I talked to Heather. I want to make sure that Mopsy's back in the room. I want NAFM in the room this year. I want FIDA. I want these guys and gals in the room. I think it's an exciting time coming out of pandemic. Next year, 2022, I think the world will be a little bit at more ease. And we're in this new decade. And it started out crazy, obviously, but I think we're going to get back to stuff. We're going to get back to real big business, and we need to pay attention to what we're doing digitally. We need to pay attention to our media platforms, and we need to do it collectively. So to be more successful, all ships rise with the tide. My good friend Roger Smeltzer says that all the time. All ships rise with the tide. Fed Nation is a community. We're trying to get those ships all aligned to rise together, and we're going to do it. It's going to go down in Arizona. So again, if you're watching and you have anything, what do you want from the Fed conference? What content do you want to see? What speakers, what content, what do you want? Let's see if we can make that happen. It's a 3-day event, so we're going to have to jam pack some stuff in. But listen, we could do it. We can make it happen. And we're going to do, like I said, we're going to keep it exciting. We're going to keep high energy in the air. Unlike any event you've been to, we're gonna really set the tone for the next decade with this one. So you're gonna want to be there. So fired up about Fed conference. We're gonna be talking more about it today. As we have more information, and if you want to sponsor, I know there's a lot of interest in sponsorships right now. We're still getting those packages together, but if you're interested, DM us. This way we make sure we get that info to you. And as far as attending, again, we got to lock the venue down. We got to lock some agenda down, and then we're gonna open up ticket sales, and there'll be some early bird discounts. If you're not in my community, my text community, text me, because those are going to be the first to know and probably get the best discount. There's the number on the bottom of the screen. If you're coming to the Fed conference and you want the best ticket sale price, text me in my community. I'm releasing it to them first at the best price. It's my community. It's my people. You get it first. That's one of the reasons you want to text me. Stay in the know. Be part of what we have going on here. We're bringing everybody with us. Fed Nation is coming with us. And we're going to be announcing some region leaders. We got a lot of things coming down the pike, so stay tuned. What else are we fired up about? Fired up about a phone call that I'm getting right now.
No, everyone wants to know about your report card.
So my report card. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother cleaned out some things down at her house, and she came across some report cards. This is my sixth grade report card. Check it out.
You should be able to open it. Wait. Back up a tiny. Oh, no, that looks good.
That looks good.
Yep.
All right. So this is 93. All right. I had Mrs. Scheibel that year for homeroom. If you want to see how good Rich Malachi did, take a look at this.
Oh,
I got it. I'm going to get my best to focus in. There we go.
You got it. Look at all those 70s.
Maybe I'll take a picture in this and I'll do a little write-up article on LinkedIn. So reading, first mark, let's just look at the first marking period. 70 in reading, 80 in English, 78 in math, which I'm blown away by that because math is not my strong suit. Social studies, 70. That's my grandmother's fault, by the way. So I guess I'm not going to get in trouble now. My grandmother did my social studies homework for me.
So she must have learned the wrong things.
She screwed me.
Yeah.
Science, I had an 80. Phys ed, I had 85. All right. Art, 89. See, I'm artistic. Music, 90. Library, 90. Library was a.
What did you do with library?
We were doing the Dewey Decimal System stuff.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
I did that too.
Listen, back in 93, that was a thing. Combined subject average, 88. General average, 77. Overall, my final grade coming out of sixth grade was 79.8. I was always a 70s kind of guy for the most part. This is just one report card. I did have another one in fifth grade, which were all 90s.
So what happened in sixth grade?
Sixth grade got too hard. So, I'm talking about that. If you're going to be fired up about something like this, I mean, I'm not that maybe I'm necessarily fired up, but I think it's cool to talk about, for anyone watching out there that puts so much stock into these grades and I understand when you're growing up and you're a parent and you want your kids to do well in school, you want them to excel. And, my mother, they were on me. They were on me every day. They didn't, if I wanted to quit, they don't let you quit. That's what the parent's job is, right? They're not, they're not, you're going to quit. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not on my watch. So, and that's the same thing for my dad. My dad wouldn't let me quit. There was no sleeping in my house. There was no get up, let's go. So, I think what this is kind of showing is, I was not the smartest guy in the room back then. And I will tell you right now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room now. I think the difference, the separation is the willingness to work, the willingness to learn, the willingness to be humble. You have to be humble. You don't know everything. And I know that wholeheartedly here. I don't know everything. I don't know so much. But the willingness to work, the willingness to put effort in, the willingness to come at it every single day, sick or not sick, hurt or not hurt, we just keep going. We keep coming. Every day we're moving forward progress. I don't care if it's an inch, we're constantly moving forward. And if I'm not the smartest guy in the room, I like to be in the rooms with the smartest guys and the girls. Those are the rooms I like to circulate in. And that's why I love going to all the conferences in the industry. That's why I love going down to NAFM. That's why I love going to RIFMA. I'm in rooms with people smarter. Why wouldn't you want to be there? That's how you learn, from people that have been there and done that. Okay. I'm 39 years old. I've definitely seen a lot. I've definitely learned a lot. I definitely know a lot. That being said, man, there's still so much to learn. There's still so much to figure out and grow. I sit here sometimes scratching my head on a lot of things. I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. I don't know if this is what I should do. And then there's times I'm like, I don't know what to do. And that's another part of going back to all the stuff that we got going with Fed. And me and Taz talked about this in one of our Fed chats. He may not know the answer, but he knows someone that knows the answer. And that is powerful. So, when you build your online platforms and you're building your digital branding and you're out there and you're consistent and you start building these relationships, you start opening doors to people's minds, and that's why, listen, my mind and my door is always open. I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, but I'll always give you my expertise or knowledge on something. And if I can't speak on something, I'll say, listen, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I just had that today. We had the incomparable Jordan Singer here today from Automatic Ice, who I love. And he was asking me a question about some design on these ranges and everything. And the welding and this, I'm like, something, it's not my wheelhouse. I don't really know the manufacturing side and why this is better than that. I don't know, but I could get the answer. So, that's always the thing. I could always find someone that has the answer. And the same thing with school. This was a much different time period. Obviously, there was no Google. There was library. Yeah, you had to go to the friggin' library. And today it's just much different for the kids growing up and everything like that. But, this stuff stressed me the hell out. I don't know about you, but I was so stressed out in school.
I was very stressed out.
Because I didn't like it. I didn't care about social studies. And if I have kids, I'll definitely make sure that they stay on point and they're learning and they're constantly doing stuff. But I want to push them in the direction that they find the most happiness in. That's a different story for another day. But happiness, I think, is something that needs to be at the forefront of learning and education. But anyway, that's my report card. Damn it. I didn't do good in school. By the way, if we fast forward to high school, hold on.
You got high school?
Here's a picture of Rich Maliki freshman year back in 95. Look at that kid.
That's your freshman year?
Yeah, 1995. 1995, ladies and gentlemen, freshman in high school.
What was he fired up about
Not much.
back then?
Not much. Just getting through the day.
Really?
Yeah. There was some bullying going on. There was some different things happening. Just trying to get through the day. This was in Jersey City on Bergen Ave, not a great area. I actually got freshman year. I actually got held up by knife point coming out of state, and I was 13. What did they think they were getting? You know what they got? They got my bus tickets.
Your bus tickets.
That's all I had. So yeah, because I used to walk over to the number 10 and take the bus home every day.
Yeah.
I had to go back in the school and tell the principal because I had no way to get home. And they called my mother, and my mother came and all that stuff, But Yeah. So listen, school definitely important. Not knocking school. Just showing you that you know what, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. What else? So I did want to talk a little bit about before I go. Fired up about priorities, service companies and priorities. I love to continue this different discussions on this. You know, we as a service company have customers. Obviously, my database probably has 10,000 of them. They're not all probably active, but you know, we have a 10,000 plus database of customers, and we have tiers. So we talk about key accounts sometimes. I talk about key accounts, key clients. Those are the ones that call you every week. They call you every month. Some of them call you every day. Those are the ones that get priority. They have to. They are the bread and butter of our businesses. I'm not saying this. I'm not making this up. This is the world. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, so we talk about priorities and we talk about, you know, can you just send the guy quick? And the answer is going to be no, I can't just send the guy quick. So I want to make sure we continue to pump this out because, you know, I think service companies as a whole, we appreciate when someone sends work our way. You know, they went out of their way. Hey, Rich, I'm going to send you. Oh, thank you so much. I am very appreciative of any business that's sent our way. You know, but there needs to be a realization. We need to break these perceptions down. There's not I never have a technician looking for a next call, and I never have to worry here of where the next job's coming from. That is the most great. I don't think any service company, any service manager, any business owner in the industry from the service side, that is the most grateful thing that we probably have going for us. That we're lucky enough to stay busy even through pandemic. And listen, it's not as busy as it was. Everyone's doing things as you know, they're doing their best and holding on to all the dollars as much as they can. But that is the blessing of being in the service industry. Another conversation I had with Jordan today, you know, talking about if we're set up for pandemic proof. You know, we're not pandemic proof. I always used to say recession proof, but when it comes to pandemic, like, you know, he's like, listen, we're a distributor of equipment. People aren't buying new right now, you know. So, but thankfully for us, you know, repairs, service, we got all our guys back in June. It's going to be going on a year soon that our entire company's back at it. We only had to shut down for 2 months, really. And I still had guys working. We still had guys working. Thankfully, we had, you know, all the supermarkets and C-stores and different things that we service here on a regular basis. So priorities. This is why I always urge end user customers to build a relationship with the service company in their area. I don't care where you are. Pick up the phone and let them know I need a service company. I have an oven down, but guess what? I also got 2 fryers. I got a walk-in. Regardless, you want someone that's going to care for your business like you care for your business. And when you become a loyal customer, you become a priority. So again, we're not idling at the curb. We're not sitting here hoping someone's going to send us a call so we can go. These technicians are booked solid. Anytime you call, if you call me right now, you're going to say, Rich, can you get someone there? I have to figure out a way to work it in. It's got to be worked in. So we got to prioritize. Is this a customer that's that calls us on a regular basis? If not, I probably have to tell them it's going to be tomorrow. Or do they want overtime? Most people don't want to pay overtime. I understand that. Overtime's a different conversation though. So priorities, you know, we had a discussion about this a little bit on LinkedIn. We were talking about a hospital with a dishwasher. That's a priority. We don't want our hospitals to have patients getting served on paper and plastic. We need to get there. Dishwasher's priority at a hospital, you know, so there's different levels of that too. You know, we tell you, and someone was mentioning about the pizza guy that has the oven down. Chances are he's got a 6-pie oven here, a 6-pie oven here. He could probably get away with a little bit of that for another day. So especially if he only calls me twice a year. You know what I mean, Lisa?
I know what you mean.
You know, so we need to strengthen relationships here. And that's what I'm definitely doing here in New Jersey. Shout out to my girl, Lori. I know she doesn't really watch any of the social media stuff, but Lori's out there right now killing it, crushing it, bringing in maintenance agreements because she's explaining to the customer the importance, and they're seeing the need. They understand sanitization and cleaning. These are all powerful words as we move forward into a world post-COVID. We need to make sure that this stuff is sanitized proper. And I'm getting a phone call, and I'll call you back. I'm live with the people. So, So priorities. We need to strengthen our relationships, and we're doing that here in New Jersey. I urge you, as a service company or any part of the industry that you might be in, get these loyal partnerships, strengthen them. Let's strengthen them, because we need to be there for our customer, and we want to be there for these other people. We want to be there for these other customers, but loyalty goes a long way, and that changes the priority of the day. So, ongoing discussion. I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions or comments after this live, by all means, jump in the conversation. Chances are I will answer you at some point. And that's it. Fed Conference 2022. Be on the lookout. We're coming on. We're going to come on strong. We're going to have a lot of buzz going as we release the agenda and the sponsorship packages. I'm super excited. I'm fired up. The flames are going. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. Go enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you want to be on the live with me, let me know. Lisa, we're taking it down.
Peace.
Peace. We'll see you mañana. Have a beautiful afternoon.